Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shoaib, into this session. And as folks, you can see, we are sitting remotely. Shoaib, I have Shoaib on Skype. It is given the situation with the COVID-19 virus, and I think we all should be practicing social distancing as much as possible, even though we may not feel the symptoms, or even if somebody else does not feel the symptoms, but we never know, we may be the carrier. It is not just about others, it's also about ourselves. So it's a two-way street. Just be careful with that. Anyway, a little bit about a word with COVID, and then we can get started. So just to get things started, can you, Shoaib, give a little bit of introduction about yourself, and then we can start from there.
Sure. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I hope someone can benefit from my experience. My name is Shoaib. I'm an electronics engineer by degree. I've been working with the telecommunication industry for over 10 years now. Primarily, my experience was from Pakistan and Middle East. I was working with one of the major telco vendors at that particular point in time. I've done quite a bit of sales and also project management and program management over the last 8 to 10 years. I moved to Canada in 2019, January. Before that, I had done my soft landing in 2018, and I I can say it's been a year now that I've actually been in Canada, and also currently working with uh, one of the three major national operators within the country.
That's nice. So, and I believe we had the conversation that you had an internal transfer from the company where you came from. Can you tell a little bit about that?
So it wasn't an exact transfer. When I moved here in January, I had a discussion with my line manager back home that I'll be working for some time from Canada for them. So since we had the possibility of working remotely, I was working for some of my clients in Middle East remotely for some time from Canada. And due to the time difference, I mean, here it used to be late night or early morning for them. And when it was like morning time in Canada, the clients there were mostly not working. So what I would use that time for was to network with the people here in the Canada office. After like a few weeks, I was able to actually volunteer in one of the local project that they were doing in Canada. That helped me get into the people that were working for the company in Canada. It gave me an opportunity to understand some of the Canadian work ethics that are being followed in the industry. And also, when I was actually going out and doing interviews with other companies, I could very well easily say that I'm actually working within Canada. So it actually kind of gave me a little bit of boost. But having said that, I mean, it was the I actually did that for two months, and by the end of second month, I actually got an offer from this another company, and I joined them. So I had to resign from my previous company at that point in time. But what I would say was that it was like for me, those 2 months were 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day in the morning, working with the company in Canada, also trying to juggle the clients back home, and in the evening, applying on the jobs that are coming out in the telecommunication or IT sector within Canadian market. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So one more thing, and we had this conversation. Maybe you can enlighten the folks a little bit between contracting and full time.
Yeah.
And so when people come into Canada, they contemplate, should I pursue a full time position, or should I pursue a contracting position? You pursued a contracting position. Any thoughts or insights into that as to what led you to do that?
Okay. So it it actually mostly depends on your personal choice as well. I mean, contracting is a little riskier in terms of the fact that you might sometimes find a contract and sometimes not. permanent is a little more secure in that case. But then, generally, for a permanent employee, the company has to pay some overheads for that particular employee in terms of taxes and other things. So the package that they offer to a permanent employee is sometimes less than the one that is offered in contracting. Contractors generally get a little better package, and at the same time, since they are doing that contracting through their own incorporated firm, they are able to save some money on the taxes as well. But again, I mean, it comes with some cons as well. You have to be on your toes all the time. You can't relax. Like sometimes you might do in a permanent role because you know that it's not very easy for the company to let you go. But at the same time, it's rewarding as well. But then you don't get some of the benefits that a permanent employee might get, like dental or healthcare. For me, that wasn't a prime requirement at this point in time, so I chose to start get contracting.
Thank you, Shoaib. I think you've given us some really good insights, and the people who watched you today would have been able to gather something useful. And I hope in the future, if anybody wants to reach out and have a detailed conversation with you, they can surely do that, right?